Senator May, so I'll fill in the blanks. I'm originally from Indiana. I was a grain farmer there for 26 years with my dad, so I did. When he retired, I decided to get out. Neither one of my sons were interested in it, so I've been dating this beautiful lady for 6 years, and she said, you know, you don't have to work this hard. Because we were farming 3,000 acres and we were running trucks, and it was just me and my dad. We didn't hire a soul. We did all that work ourselves. And I was raising a son on my own, Jared, my oldest. Unfortunately, I lost Jared to a heroin fentanyl overdose 4 years ago. And my youngest son, Clay, is a top 40 DJ in Evansville, Indiana. He is a morning show host on their top 40 station. And he has a personality that is out of this world, I'm telling you. You'd have to listen to it. But I moved over here. I worked for Monsanto, Land O'Lakes, and finished before I retired as a truck driver for Estes Express Lines. We had trucks on the farm, and been in them all my life. Been driving since I was 15, so that's what I did. Makes it easy to drive now. I know we put in 400 some miles a day. We were here this morning, went to Perryville, back again, so we can talk tonight. It's nothing to put in 500 or 600 miles a day, because I've got that disease too. I'm mad as hell. That's why I got it. Okay? I am mad as hell because I am sick of Republicans getting in office and telling us we can't have health care. Okay? We need universal health care. We had a town hall on it last week in Arnold, Missouri. Had two physicians from PNHP, which is Physicians for National Health Program. 25,000 members strong across the country, and they are advocating for a single payer Medicare for all. Single payer. That is what we need. And I'll give you a perfect example. This week, I'm going to Oregon County. There's a young fellow down there named Casey Roth. He's 5 years old. He has skin cancer, a type of skin cancer I hadn't heard before. And he needs this light therapy or something. And guess what? Insurance won't pay for it. So they're going to have a benefit. They have a GoFundMe page. This is healthcare in our system today, where people have to fund healthcare with GoFundMe pages. Are you serious?
Yes.
That's where we are. We're the only developed nation in the world that doesn't have it. Is every other nation perfect? Probably not. But they don't bankrupt citizens like we do. Okay? They don't kill people because they force them to ration medications like insulin. We do that in this country. It shouldn't happen. We are the richest country in the world. It shouldn't happen, but we do because we allow the lobbyists,
Greedy people.
you know, the greedy people, to not allow us to happen. Okay? And they push all this propaganda, you know, through Fox News and you know, all the right-wing sites. You know, this is bad. You know, you have to wait months to get in to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Anybody tried to get into an endocrinologist lately? How long it takes? My wife has. She tried here, what, a month or so ago? October. I got a buddy. He's got a heart issue. He needs to get to see a cardiologist. When is he getting in? August, September? And he tried 2 or 3 months ago. So I don't hear all that nonsense about you have to wait somewhere else. One of the women at the town hall lived in Canada. She and her husband lived there. She developed breast cancer while she was there. Her dad was stationed at Camp Lejeune. He died from cancer. She had no history of breast cancer in her family, but she was in Canada. They didn't pay a dime for anything. They didn't pay for the surgeries, the treatments, or the reconstructive surgeries that made her whole again. She's moved back to Cape Girardeau now, and all she has done is fight with insurance companies. They pay all kinds of money just for treatments that she should be able to get for free. But again, this is our healthcare system, our for-profit healthcare system. We spend twice as much on healthcare per person per year as all the rest of the developed nations. Over twice. We spend over 12,000. The average is about 63 or 400. And we're at the bottom of the list just by every measure. We have the highest infant mortality rates. We have the lowest life expectancy, but yet they've convinced people we have the best healthcare system. We do not. You know, maybe if you can afford it, but nobody else I know kills their citizens over or bankrupts them, but we do. One of the other things I've really pushed, and this leads back into it, is I want to go back to a progressive tax rate where we force these billionaires and corporations to pay no fair share. Okay? It is absolutely ridiculous. We have people like Bezos and Musk and Gates and these folks that are worth more than some countries. They have their own space programs. We can't even afford to send our own astronauts into space. We have to hire the Russians to do it.
Yeah.
You think John Kennedy's not rolling over his grave? Even Reagan? That's where we're at today because all this money has been funneled. $50 trillion in the last 40 years since the start of trickle-down economics. 50 trillion with a T has been moved from the bottom 90% of the population to the top 1%. What could we have done with all that money? For our infrastructure, for our schools, for any host of things that we could have done. But that money is up there. That's why Elon Musk has a satellite system that our own military is worried about now because they're becoming reliant on it. Well, what if he decides to cut it off like he did with Ukraine in their battle with Russia? We've let one man with that much money become that powerful because Republicans can't say no to tax breaks. But you know what they can say no to? They can say no, okay, we're going to come after Social Security now. Because people like us, I'm on Social Security and Medicare, people like us are the problem. It's not Elon Musk and the rest of them up there, all billionaires. They're not the problem, no. It's us. We're the ones that are bankrupting the country, right? They forget about the $6.5 trillion they added to the deficit or the debt under Trump.
Yep.
And they forget about the debt that we added under George W. Bush and the debt we added under Ronald Reagan. But they seem to be okay with that. But, you know, now when a Democrat gets in office, all of a sudden they're become fiscal conservatives. Isn't that amazing? Hypocrisy at its finest. Absolutely. And I'll get off that because I don't want to talk all night. And I can. Trust me. I haven't been, this is my first foray into politics, but I'll guarantee I can talk all night on every issue. But, filibuster. You needed me up there, I'm telling you, I talked your ears off. But the last thing I'm going to touch on is reproductive rights, right? That's a woman's issue, right? Well, it's not just a woman's issue, because they're not only after, you know, abortions, which they've done a pretty good job of limiting. They're after IVF, they're after birth control. So what's next? You can't get your tubes tied. We can't get vasectomies. I mean, because that's against somebody's religion.
They'll just keep buying
You know?
Viagra.
And I mean, we were founded on freedom of religion, right? But that also means freedom from religion. That means one religion can't dictate what everybody else does. That's called Sharia law. Remember a few months ago or a few years ago, all these governors in these southern states that are all up in arms about Sharia law. Okay? Well, that's what we're getting, except it's called Christian law instead of Sharia law. There's no difference between the two. Make no mistake, they're one and the same. If you're living by somebody else's religious views and you can't live by your own, that is religious law. It has no place in this country. The framers of the Constitution knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing when they erected that wall, the separation between church and state, because they knew their European history. Okay? They knew how bloody it had been. The Puritans ended up in Massachusetts because of fighting, right? And they weren't fighting Muslims. They weren't fighting Catholics. You know who they were fighting? Other Protestants. They couldn't get along amongst themselves to the point they ran them out of the country. So which religion are you going to listen to when you start making your laws? As long as my religion's making the laws, you know, I'm all good. But when somebody else is making the laws, well, maybe not so much. Okay? And that's where we're at. Like I said, I have no problem with any religion. You practice what you want, but it's yours. Don't shove it on anybody else, and don't make laws that force other people to live by your views, because that's the most un-American thing that we could have. But I'm telling you, I think the Republicans pissed off the wrong people. I'm just telling you, because women Men, you know, right? You get them on a task, it's like a pit bull on a bone. They won't let go. They'll just keep after, and they'll keep after. I'm married to one, trust me. I know, from personal experience, got scars to prove. They will go after, and that is what women are gonna do this election. I can promise you.
Yeah.
They're gonna show up, and they're gonna show these people, you're not gonna take away our rights. You're not gonna take away my daughter's rights. You're not gonna take away my granddaughter's rights. You're not gonna force my 10 or 12-year-old granddaughter, if she gets raped, to carry some rapist child to term. Okay? Because what if she wants to have children when she is ready, when she's in her 20s and married, but she can't do it because she was forced to have a child when she was just a child. So that shouldn't happen in this country, and we're gonna change it this fall, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. My name's Franklin Delano Roth II. That's what you'll see on the ballot. Everybody calls me Denny. And I am running for Congress in Missouri's 8th District. I would appreciate your support. Thank you.